Hi fans, and welcome once again to the Coach's Corner here on the campus of West Virginia State University. I'm your host, Lee France. This week, we'll discuss the Yellow Jackets' 42-0 loss to the University of Charleston this past Saturday with head coach Earl Monroe. We'll also talk to freshman defensive back Dominique Matthews and junior defensive back Nick Mullins. But first, let's welcome head coach Earl Monroe to talk about last week's game against the Golden Eagles. Coach, you know, I've sugarcoated a lot of things doing interviews like this, but a 42-0 loss. What do you say about that game? And if you will, just talk a little bit about what happened Saturday against the University of Charleston. Considering
the fact that we are on TV and we air at 7 o'clock, I will try to sugarcoat some of it as well, but as best as I can. But we're just not playing very good football right now. We knew we were going to have some growing pains going in with the young squad, but we didn't know the pains were going to be so severe. We thought we had good game plans going in, both offensively and defensively, and we knew it would be a tough challenge. University of Charleston has got a very good defense. They've also got a challenging offense, which they run that option, and it was going to be tough to stop. But never in a million years I would have thought that they were 42 points better than us.
We'll jump right to some video, if you don't mind, of Landon Johnson doing some kick returning for you, and he's done this all year long. Providing you with good field position, which you've not been able to turn into touchdowns, or at least like you would expect. Talk a little bit about what Landon does. A lot of people sometimes overlook the kicking game as far as the return game.
Yes, Landon's a great receiver for us, and he's also been doing a good job returning kicks. Unfortunately, he's had several opportunities to return kicks because we've given up so many touchdowns. But when he's gotten the opportunity, he's done a real good job. Coach John Pennington is our special teams coordinator. He's done a good job coordinating the kickoff return team. And again, unfortunately, he's had several opportunities to run kickoffs back.
Landon, as you see him kind of weave through the field, is that something, is it coachable? Is it you know, to teach someone to do, you know, a proper kick return, I guess you would say?
Some of it is the scheme, but a lot of it is instinct by the player and ability by the player. And Landon's a great player for us. And he is a bright spot in an 0-3 season so far. He is one of the bright spots.
We touch on this every week. The running game, again, not there once again for the University of Charleston game as well. However, you did net 108 yards. There was some positives there. However, 85 yards lost on a combination of quarterback sacks, which was most of that. Talk about how frustrating that is.
It's frustrating. Coach Shaw's been working very hard trying to establish a running game and working on the offensive line. Again, we keep using that crutch of, you know, we're a young team, but that offensive line is extremely young, and it's going to take them time to gel. And again, playing against a very good front with University of Charleston, it was a challenge for us. We did get the running game going a little bit. I thought Coach called a great game, and then we shoot ourselves in the foot with fumbles and penalties and that kind of thing for the third week in a row. And we've just got to get those things cleaned up.
You had 5 quarterback sacks and lost 61 yards there. Also a product, it can be at least, of the lack of a running game. They can just kind of gear up and pin their ears back, so to speak.
No question. You have to establish a running game to actually help open up the passing game, and we haven't been able to do that. Fortunately, we've got a week off this week, and we can try to fine-tune some things. And again, we're going to, you know, this is not the NFL. It's not a trade deadline where we could trade a guy and get another one in. These are the guys we got in here, and these are the guys we're going to work with. They're working hard. The one bright spot, the other bright spot is the kids are buying into what we're doing. They're still working hard, and we're still trying to turn the season around.
Your offense was able to make it down to the 27-yard line at one point. That was about as deep as they went, and then to the 5. But then off of that fourth down, they weren't able to convert. Penalty cost you. And then UC marches down the field, 9 plays, 82 yards, I think. Again, another point of frustration, but how many times have you seen that scenario play out where you have a bad drive and then they capitalize on it?
Several times this year. You know, I go for the 4th and 5 because I think we were down 21-0 at that point, and I was hoping, well, you know, this is deep as that we've been in their territory. If we could stick one in here and get it within 2 touchdowns, right, get a little momentum going. Worst case scenario, they'll have to start from the 5. And, you know, such a potent offense, if you can get them backed up, maybe we can get a play and get a fumble or something. That was the thought process. And then we ended up losing yards on the 4th down play. And that is the last thing that you want to do on a 4th down attempt, is to lose yards, because now it backfires because you're not pinning them where you thought you were going to pin them. And now you second guess yourself and say, well, maybe we should have gotten the 3 points and that kind of thing. So it's extremely frustrating, but it's part of the job. I mean, it's part of the job, and we're going to continue working, every single day to get better, both coaches and coaching decisions, and getting our players better.
The Golden Eagles netted about 314 yards on the ground, but a lot of that, as we jump to the next video, we'll see this option play down on the goal line where they're able to get it in. And that option that DeMayo runs, it's tough for any team in this league to stop.
It's extremely tough. It gets you out on the perimeter, and it makes guys that normally don't have to make tackles have to make tackles. It gets out there to your corners and your safeties to make tackles all day. And, I mean, if they run it 20 times and you stop them, 12, I mean, that's still some success for them, quite a bit of success for them. It's assignment football. Again, we have not been doing our assignments in against regular offenses. So I knew it was going to be a tough challenge. We had to put a new game plan in. You have to put a game plan in to stop the option. And we put it in a week, and you only got 3 or 4 days to practice it, and you're going against an offense that they run every day. So we knew it was going to be a challenge. I thought at times we did a pretty good job when we did take our assignments. And we're going to fine-tune that game plan for next year, put some stuff in and throw some stuff out that we don't like, and try to have a better game plan for that option next year.
You've got an open week coming up this week. Does that come at a good time for you and this team personally?
I normally hate off weeks. I mean, I like to get started and get in a flow and get in a run and get in and get out. But, man, this is a prayer answered to have an off week this week. We've got so many guys banged up. I've actually got an injury report here on the desk. We've got Casey Griffin, who was a starting defensive tackle for us, hadn't played all year. He's having complications from a shoulder surgery during the off season. So we've got a chance in 2 weeks to get him back, and he will be one of only 3 guys that have started for us before. And again, he's been out all week, so he'll be a welcome addition to that defensive line. MZ Jones, a freshman defensive lineman that replaced Casey, did not play this week because of a knee injury. We found out, got the MRI back. He's got torn fibers in his MCL. They are going to fit him with a brace. He needs this week off to get adjusted to the brace. We'll try to get him back next week. Akeem Nofu has got a torn ligament in the shoulder. He needs surgery, but he's elected to have the surgery during the off season, so he's having some pains in the shoulder, and he needs a rest.
Yeah, there's no question then. This comes at the best time for the Yellow Jackets.
No question. We've got 8 or 9 guys that did not practice yesterday, and hopefully with the week off, they'll be better.
With about 60 seconds left here, tell me about Concord coming up the week following that bye week, and what it would mean to this team. I mean, at this point, you're looking for a win.
No question. Unfortunately, Concord's coming into the Jackets Den in 2 weeks. It'll be our first home game, so that's big. New team, been on the road 3 weeks in a row, so hopefully we can build off the fact that we are playing at home, playing against another conference foe, and hopefully we'll be ready to play.
And that will be coming up in 2 weeks, fans. But right now, it is time to take a break here. We'll return with freshman defensive back Dominic Matthews here on Suddenlink Channel 22, the Coach's Corner on West Virginia State University's campus.